Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Patrick, and you're all very welcome to this afternoon's in practice. We're going to start in a comfortable seated position, Sukhasana, sitting cross-legged, if that's comfortable. Maybe raising your seat on a block, a bolster, or a blanket, just allowing the knees to gently fall out to the side, allowing the hips to open. So the focus of today's in practice is root chakra, Muladhara. Muladhara root chakra is associated, it's where our sense of grounding comes from, our sense of security, our sense of feeling safe and secure in the world. And when this chakra is not balanced, the opposite applies. We feel insecure, maybe unsafe. So it's an important chakra to work on, and it's associated with grounding. So the asanas we'll be doing this afternoon will be stimulating Muladhara, hopefully stimulating the root chakra. So we're going to start with a little bit of breathing. I just encourage you to come to Prithvi Mudra. So the thumb, as you know, is connected with fire. The ring finger connected with the earth. So leaving the other three fingers extended and pressing gently the thumb against the forefinger. This will also help to stimulate the root chakra. So as always at the start of class, we try to let go of what's happened in our day so far. We've probably had a busy day. So just kind of forgetting about what's happened so far and try and come to the present moment. And we come to the present moment in yoga by focusing on the breath. So I'd encourage you at the start of class to let go of whatever's happened so far, close the eyes and gently start to focus on the breath. Observing without changing the breath, the gentle inflow and outflow of the breath. Observing any sensations associated with the breath, where you feel the breath entering the body. Feeling the gentle rise of the abdomen and chest on the inhale, and as you exhale, sensing the gentle fall of the abdomen, the chest sinking, and the breath leaving through the throat and nose. In a few moments, we'll cultivate the breath, but just for the moment, just focus on your own breath without changing the rhythm of the breath, just observing any sensations. As many of you know who come to my yin practice regularly, I like to start the class with a bit of pranayama, concentrating particularly on elongating the inhale and exhale. This activates the parasympathetic nervous system, specifically the vagus nerve, which is responsible for rest and digest. In the yin practice, it's associated with activating the stretch reflex, so it does help your practice. So throughout the class, focus on your own body. I always talk at the start of class about the green zone, the orange zone, and the red zone. The green zone being you're not really getting a good stretch, not an adequate stretch for your body. The red zone meaning that you've gone too far, that it's causing some pinching or discomfort, particularly anybody that suffers with sciatica or lower back issues, just to be mindful of that. So ideally, we want to stay in the orange zone. So at any stage, if anything doesn't feel right, back out of the asana. You're welcome to take a child's pose or savasana whenever you need to. Don't judge what anybody else is doing. We're all coming to the mat from different places. So we're going to start with cultivating the breath. So at the end of the next exhale, hold your breath and start to inhale for a count of 4. Exhale for 4. Inhale 4. Exhale 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 6. Inhale 4. Exhale 6. Inhale 4. Exhale 6. Inhale 6. Exhale 6. Inhale 6. Exhale 6. Inhale 6. Exhale 6. Inhale 6. Exhale 8. Inhale 6. Exhale 8. Inhale 6. Exhale 8. Inhale 6. Exhale 8. Inhale 8. Exhale 8. Inhale 8. Exhale 8. Inhale 8. Exhale 8. Inhale 8. Exhale 8. Returning now to your normal breathing rhythm. If it's in your practice also throughout the class, focusing on ujjayi breath, where you're inhaling and exhaling through a restriction at the back of the throat. This can slow down the breath. It's a good way to develop control of the breath during practice. And I will constantly cue throughout the practice about focusing on the breath, focusing on long, deep inhales, even longer exhales to stimulate the vagus nerve. Okay, so we're going to start now. So our first asana we're coming to this afternoon is child's pose. In child's pose, starting in a tabletop position, you can place the knees wide on the mat if you want to get a slight hip stretch here, or you can keep the knees closer together and sit back, moving the pelvis back toward the heels, whatever feels right this afternoon. Just gently allowing the hip bones to settle down towards the mat. They may rest on your heels or come between your heels. Gently allowing your forehead to drop onto the mat. We're going to have the hands facing backwards, palms facing up. Allowing the physical body to settle. Feel like you're grounding into the earth. Observing any sensations you're feeling. Maybe at the start of practice, you might feel a little bit of tightness in the hips, in the quads, glutes. Just observing any physical sensations here. To areas of discomfort. Taking a deep inhale and metaphorically sending your breath there. Just allowing the tissues to soften and release. Allowing the mind to quieten. If thoughts occur, observe them. Let them pass. Focusing on the sensation of grounding into the earth. Also, when we're pressing our forehead into the mat, we're activating Agya, third eye chakra, seat of our intuition. If this asana is very uncomfortable on your knees, you can also place a bolster above your heels or a cushion. You can sit on a block. Just finding whatever position is comfortable. Focusing on steady breaths and observing any physical sensations, remaining present in the pose. Focusing on areas of tightness, allowing everything to soften and relax. Spending 1 more minute in this asana. Adjusting your hands if that feels good. Coming slowly in your own time up to child's pose. If you wish here, making some gentle circles, just releasing any tightness. Next asana we're coming to is broken toe pose. So here, knees are hip width apart, and we're pressing our toes into the mat, sitting back onto our heels, placing our hands on our thighs. This asana, we're visualizing our toes like roots of a tree which are sinking into the earth. We're going to feel physical sensations here in the Achilles tendon, muscles of the calf, also the tendons and tissues of the foot, extension in the toes. So mindfully focusing on the physical sensations. Keeping the breath slow and steady. And constantly going back to the visualization of the roots of a tree. If this asana is very uncomfortable or challenging, you can place blocks by your side and just pressing your hands gently into blocks can help to relieve some of the stress in the asana. You can also place cushion or a bolster on top of your heels. Just doing whatever you can to make the asana comfortable. As I said at the start of practice, remaining in the orange zone, not in the red zone. Feeling a gentle stretch, but no pain or discomfort. Again, here you may like to use Prithvi Mudra. Feeling that sense of grounding and rooting into the earth. Taking a deep inhale and sending your breath to your toes, your feet, the back of your calves, your heels. Focusing on the physical sensations. One more minute here. You may also be getting some sensations in the fronts of the ankles, shins. Just observing these and sending the breath there. And gently coming out of the asana. Again, coming to tabletop. Allowing the tops of the feet to gently press into the mat. Our next asana this afternoon is dangling. So we're going to gently come into a standing position. Feet are hip width apart. Slight bend in the knees is fine. If you wish during the asana to get a deeper stretch in the hamstrings, you can keep more gentle extension into the knees. Allowing the upper body to drape forwards. May feel good to gently hold opposite elbows or wrists. Or if it feels better this afternoon, you can gently place your hands on the mat or on a block. Just allow the upper body to drape forwards over the thighs. Should feel this in the hamstrings, in the glutes. Fascia and tissues of the lumbar spine. Focusing always as slow, steady inhales and long, deep exhales. Also getting a gentle stretch across the shoulders. Muscles of the neck are soft and relaxed. And gently bring the weight more forward on your feet into your toes and just see how that changes sensations within the asana.
Focusing on the feet for the last 30 seconds, observing how the weight is distributed in the feet, feel the feet grounding into the earth. Get more weight on the right foot and the left, and feeling the weight on your heels and your toes.
And again, gently coming into a tabletop. Making some gentle Chakra movements. To loosen out any stiffness in the lower back. Next asana we're coming to is Malasana, Yogi Squat. This can be quite a challenging asana depending on your knees and the flexibility in your quads. So just be mindful of your own body. You can sit on a block. That feels better. Just doing whatever you can to stay comfortable in the asana. So in Yogi Squat, turn the feet out 45 degrees. Allowing sitting bones to drop down towards the mat. Ideally, both feet should be flat on the mat. You can place a towel or a blanket under your heels if this is challenging. Again, focusing on your feet, feeling your feet grounding into the earth. Sitting bones gently sinking. You'll feel this asana in the quads. The muscles of calves. Focusing on always a slow, steady breaths, long, slow exhales. Observing sensations, areas of discomfort, metaphorically sending your breath there. Remembering that you can sit on a block if the asana is very challenging. Just 30 more seconds here. Also observing sensations in the hips, the external rotators. Gently, if you're using a block, putting it to one side. From here, we just take a gentle Shavasana for 1 minute. Sensations you felt during that quite challenging asana. Focusing on the breath. Trying to find space between the thoughts. Keeping the eyes gently closed. Feeling your entire body sinking into the earth. And slowly coming out of Shavasana. Next asana this afternoon is butterfly. Butterfly, if your hamstrings particularly are tight, it's often useful to put something under the seat, block a cushion, pressing the soles of the feet together and allowing the sitting bones to sink into the earth. Knees gently releasing towards the mat. Allowing the upper body to drape forward. You can experiment with how far your heels are away from your sitting bones. If the feet are close to the sitting bones, you're feeling this in the external hip rotators and the groins. Farther away, you may also feel it in the hamstrings. Allowing the upper body to soften and relax. Bringing your awareness back to sensations in the hips and the entire pelvic region, sitting bones. Feeling yourself sinking, connecting with the earth. 30 more seconds here. Gently coming out of the asana. May feel good, just a bit of gentle extension into the spine here, just bending back just as a counter pose. That last asana can be challenging. It can cause a lot of tightness in the lower back. So just drawing the shoulder blades together and making a slight back bend, just release. The next asana is dragonfly. So in dragonfly, again, depending on the flexibility in your hamstrings, you may like to place something under the lower to raise your seat. You can experiment with a folded towel, a blanket, or a cushion. Allowing the feet to go wide. Feeling a deep stretch here in the groins. And in your own time, allowing the upper body to release towards the mat. Again, you'll feel a deep stretch here in the muscles in the groin and the external rotators in the hips. Keeping the upper body relaxed, allowing it to drape forward. Again, feeling a sense of grounding. Focusing on that. Focusing on physical sensations. Is there any tightness in the hamstrings? Taking a deep inhale, sending your breath there. Experimenting with the position of your hands, you may gently place them on your ankles or standing forward on the mat. As always, staying in the orange zone, keeping the breath slow and steady, observing physical sensations. One more minute here. Slowly coming out of the asana, and again, if it feels good, bringing some gentle extension into the spine, drawing the shoulder blades together as a counter pose for that deep stretch. Next asana we'll come to is cradle or angel pose. So we're coming into a lying position on the mat. Now your head to remain on the mat, drawing your knees in towards your chest. You may wish to grab opposite elbows or wrists. At the start of the asana, pressing the sacrum into the mat and just making some gentle rocking movements from side to side to stimulate Muladhara. And then coming to steadiness in the pose. Experimenting with what feels right for your hands. Gripping the elbows, wrists, or the knees. Should feel a deep stretch here in the glutes, the quads. Focusing on the central grounding, keeping the breath slow and relaxed. Knees can be touching or hip width apart. Trying to find stillness in the pose. Focusing on the space between the thoughts. Spending one more minute in this asana. Remaining mindful, as always, again focusing on the breath and physical sensations.
Gently
coming out of the asana. Come into a short 60-second Shavasana. Bringing your focus to the points of contact between your physical body and the mat, feeling that sense of grounding. Coming now to stirrup pose or happy baby. Just lifting your legs up, bending your knees, and gently grabbing the outside of the feet. Again, pressing the sacrum into the mat and making some gentle rocking movements. Stimulate Muladhara at the start of the asana.
then working on whatever feels comfortable.
Can slightly stretch out the hamstrings or allow the knees to gently drop down towards the shoulders. Just doing whatever feels comfortable. Staying as always in the orange zone. Again, you may feel this in the glutes, the fascias and tissues of the lower spine, thighs, and the external hip rotators. Trying to find stillness, focusing on the breath, physical sensations in the spine, and your sense of grounding. Sixty more seconds here. And gently letting go of our feet and allowing our feet to drop down onto the mat. Make some gentle windscreen wiper moves with your legs just to loosen out the hips. Our last asana before our final Shavasana is a supported bridge pose. So grabbing a block, your feet are hip width apart, drawing the feet in towards the sitting bones, lifting up one vertebrae at a time, and placing the block whatever height feels comfortable under the sacrum. Feeling the sense of grounding, your sacrum sinking into the block and your feet rooted into the earth. You can leave your hands by your side, or if you wish to take a shoulder stretch,
you can grab up the elbows and allow your elbows to go up overhead.
dropping onto the mat. Bringing your attention to your breath. Focusing on long, deep inhales, slow, longer exhales. Observing any physical sensations. Stretching the front line here, the rectus abdominis muscles. Bringing your focus to your feet. Observing points of contact between your feet and the earth, where you're feeling the sensations. If you feel like you're in the green zone here, you can adjust the height of your block. As always, focusing on physical sensations, areas of tightness. Taking a deep inhale and metaphorically sending your breath there, allowing the tissues to soften and release. You may also allow your knees to extend, getting a deeper stretch into the front line. You may also feel this in the hip flexors. Paying particular attention to where you feel any tightness in the lower spine. Inhaling and sending your breath there. 60 more seconds here. If your feet are extended, drawing your feet back in towards sitting bones, pressing into your feet and just releasing your block to one side before coming to your final Shavasana. Shavasana, feet are wide on the mat, toes dropping out to the sides. We're also wide on the mat, hands wide on the mat, palms facing up. Keeping your eyes gently closed. Focusing on how physical body feels after the practice, just observing any sensations. Going back to the breath. Focusing as you inhale on the gentle rise of the abdomen. And as you exhale, feel the abdomen gently sinking down towards the mat. Just staying in this place for a few moments, focusing on the gentle rise and fall of the abdomen. Doing a body scan now to focus on physical sensations in the body. Bringing the attention to both feet, observing sensations in the toes, the soles of the feet, the top of the feet, heels, the ankles. Focusing on the calves, the knees, the thighs, the hips. Visualizing both legs, soft and relaxed, releasing into the earth. Bringing your awareness to the hands, observing sensations in the fingers, backs of the hands, palms of the hands, the wrists, the forearms, the elbows, the upper arms, the shoulders. Again, likewise, bringing your focus to both arms, gently resting into the earth. Bringing your focus to the pelvis, sitting bones, all of the tissues of the pelvis. Allowing them to soften and release. Bring your attention to the lumbar spine, the tissues of the abdomen, the thoracic spine, the ribs, front of the ribs, the neck, the back of the head, the top of the head, forehead, the eyes and eyelids, the cheeks, nose, feeling the lips soft and relaxed, maybe a gentle smile there. The entire body totally relaxed, releasing into the earth. Bring your focus now to Muladhara, the root chakra, at the base of the spine. Visualize an intense red light here. As you take a deep inhale, sending your breath to the root chakra, visualizing this red light becoming more intense. Repeat silently to yourself these affirmations. I am safe. I am home. I have enough. Abundance flows through me. My needs are met. The universe provides for me. I am enough. I am anchored and connected to the earth. Staying in this place for a few moments, observing your deep connection to the earth, your physical body, soft and relaxed, sinking into the earth. Bringing your attention back to the space in which we are practicing. Start to focus on the breath. Maybe elongating the breath. To waken up the physical body, start to wiggle fingers and toes. Make gentle circles with the wrists and ankles. Gently rock the head from side to side. It may feel good to take a deep inhale and stretch your arms up overhead, feeling a deep stretch from the tips of the fingers to your toes. Exhale, side out. One more nourishing inhale, side out. Giving the knees one last well-deserved hug. And gently, in your own time, rolling to the right or left side, whichever feels comfortable today. Again, in your own time, pressing back up gently into any comfortable seated position. If it feels good, placing your hands in prayer, touching your fingers to space between your eyebrows. Agya. Third eye chakra. Then pressing your fingers to your chest. Thanking yourselves for taking time out of your busy day to come to practice. Thanking your fellow yogis and yoginis for this shared energy. And I'd like to thank you sincerely for allowing me to lead your practice this afternoon. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste. Thank you, guys.